Hello and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick, and today we're going to be talking about working and employment for people with disabilities. My guest today is Sarah Bowman from the Arc of the Peninsula. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. We're excited to be here today.
That's right, and one of the reasons you're here this particular month of October is that it is, I'm going to let you say it because it's a mouthful.
It is. October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and this is a national celebration of the talents of people with disabilities. And so the Arc is taking this month to focus on our amazing group of individuals with disabilities who contribute to the workforce. We employ 620 people with disabilities in various work settings.
Wow, and you work with a particular population. I mean, disability is a big group, but you focus on a particular population of people.
We do. We provide services for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
Okay, and so I think a lot of us don't necessarily think of what kinds of jobs we might be able to use people for with particular challenges. Can you give us some ideas of the employers you work with and what kinds of positions you can help them fill?
Absolutely. We like to say that people with disabilities are only limited by our lack of imagination as to what they can do. The talents of people with disabilities are limitless. So individuals with the Arc perform a variety of duties, a variety of employment opportunities, both on-site at our facility in Hampton, as well as out in the community with local employers. You've probably seen them at Farm Fresh, Walmart, Food Lion. And we also have a thriving government contracts program where people with disabilities work on military installations alongside enlisted and civilian personnel. One of my favorite contracts, because it's extremely fascinating, is at the Yorktown Naval Weapons Station. Individuals with disabilities work at the Nostra Lens Lab, and they're part of the integrated workforce, and they help manufacture...
Okay, you're going to have to tell me what this is.
They actually manufacture eyeglasses for servicemen and women across the country. And so they are working alongside military, civilian personnel on this workforce. It's just a bustling area where they are manufacturing eyeglasses. They're providing sight to the servicemen and women.
I didn't even know we had that in Yorktown.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
And it's even more interesting that people with disabilities are there helping, and they're extremely proud of the work that they're doing.
Well, you know, we all are, and that is, I think, a common trait is we want to do a good job. We want to be proud of what we do. Now, you also are essentially a contractor. So if a business needs some different kinds of work that they would contract with you and you would hire the people and do it at your facility. First of all, where is that located?
We are in Copeland Industrial Park, right off Aberdeen Road. And so it's a great location for us because we're in this business area. And so we really do reach out to the business community, and we have a very flexible workforce that can meet their long and short-term business needs. So at our site in Hampton, we can perform small jobs. We coordinate mailings. If you receive the DAV mailers sometimes in your mailbox, those are done at the Arc. They're actually, the mailing is coordinated at the Arc, and our talented employees coordinate 35,000 pieces a week.
Wow, so they're stuffing the bags in the envelopes and running an address machine that does the labels?
They come to us addressed.
Okay.
So all they have to do is stuff and seal them. At one point we were asked to fold the bags for part of the contract. So that's one way we work with different businesses. If they have a big contract come up, or if they have an unknown business need suddenly appear, we have a great workforce that can quickly respond to their needs. We also at our site in Hampton can perform larger work. One of our leading business partners is Alcoa Howmet, and we are able to, we clean heavy duty fixtures for them. They actually installed 2 heavy duty dip tanks on site at our facility. And so you'll come to the Arc's main facility in Hampton and you'll see our individuals actually chipping away at different plaster that's been on their materials. So we can perform small jobs, but also larger jobs as well.
Wow, that is, that's quite a big job.
Yes, and another one of our business partners, Soluble Systems, installed a clean room at our facility in Hampton, and individuals with disabilities are helping to manufacture Theragoz, which is a wound care product. So here in Hampton is the only place that this amazing product is being manufactured, and it's done by people with disabilities.
You know, a lot of employers might not think along those lines. So if I were in the process of hiring, how would I go about really expanding my thinking and making those connections?
We encourage you to come for a tour. And when you leave, we promise the wheels will be turning. Come for a tour, meet with our team. We have a team of very skilled supervisors that are able to break jobs down so individuals with disabilities can complete them. So come for a tour of our facility, meet our staff, and then go back to your business and think about ways you can either bring work to our facility or, even better, have members of our team, individuals with disabilities, come and work for you. Some of our business partners have commented to us that their employees with disabilities help improve morale around their business, and they also model the behavior they want in all of their employees. One of my favorite comments is one of our business partners said they can always tell who their individuals with disabilities from the ARC are, who their employees are, because they're the ones that come back from lunch on time. They come back ready to work.
That's a great story.
Yes.
Now, your population, I mean, a lot of these people, when they're in school, receive services in school through special ed or whatever other programs the schools have. And so how do they then transition? I mean, you're part of they're becoming adults and learning to be as independent as they can.
Yes, we actually have a transition to work program. So we work with local schools to help high school juniors and seniors make the transition out of the special education classroom to paid employment. And so during the school year, we have students that come to our Hampton site. It depends on the school system, several days a week, and they are part of our e-recycling program. And so our supervisors teach the students how to successfully work, how to stay on task, the importance of productivity, how to interact with their coworkers, and our job coaches also take these students out into the community and they introduce them to other jobs that are available. And so we work very hard to help the students, give them the skills and confidence they need so they can work after graduation. And I mentioned they're part of our e-recycling program, and so I encourage any Hampton residents to see if they have old electronic equipment, might be sitting in their closet, old computers. Bring them to the ARC and you create jobs for people with disabilities.
So is this any electronics or is this strictly a computer program? Does it include televisions or DVRs or, I mean, tell me what we could bring you.
We are in the process of expanding the program so we can accept all kinds of electronic equipment. So it's not just limited to computers. We do take televisions. We're starting to take cell phones as well. And so any equipment that you have, give us a call and we'll let you know if we can take it. But we're trying very hard to be able to accept as much as possible because the high school students we have this year are just rocking and rolling. They are disassembling it faster than we can keep it in. And so the more items we have, the more jobs will be created.
Now, how do you pay for this? I mean, some things bring in revenue, your business services. Do you get revenue for the components, the electronic components?
We do. We work with a reputable vendor, and so we disassemble the equipment and then we provide it to them and they pay us for the items that are recycled. And so we work very hard to make sure that the pieces that the vendors we're working with are they have the highest standards, and we're actually working on a stronger partnership with Synergy Recycling. They just started renting a spot at our warehouse, and they're helping us expand our e-recycling program.
That's great, and that's also one of those things, you know, in addition to providing jobs, it also helps the environment because these components are not going to the landfill, or in Hampton's case, of course, they're getting burned for steam, but it still is a very costly process.
It is, and this is a great way to just protect the environment, to get rid of the old electronics you might have cluttering up your home, and to create these jobs.
Is there anything else, you know, that the average citizen who maybe doesn't own a business might be able to be involved with or to work with that would help the ARC?
Absolutely. We have an imaging line of business, and so our individuals with disabilities are scanning different items. So if you have boxes in your home, you might have records for taxes, receipts. We're able to scan those for you and put them into the media of your choice, whether it's send them to the cloud, put them on a DVD, a thumb drive. And so if you have those old boxes that you've been meaning to scan and just haven't had the time, bring them to the ARC. We also encourage anybody to come for a visit. Schedule a tour. We're very proud of our services for people with disabilities, and we want everybody in Hampton, as well as our entire community, to know about what we do and to have that same pride. And just coming to the facility, seeing the work that we do, seeing the pride of the individuals there, we welcome people to come for a visit.
That's great. And in terms of document scanning, it's nice because there are a lot of services where you have to mail things, and a lot of people are reluctant. I mean, there's the cost of mailing, but there's also that reluctance to that it may be lost. And so this way it's local, they deliver it, you pick it back up. Would it also include photographs, or is it mostly
Yes, it does include photographs. Wow. And we're getting ready to make an exciting announcement. Working with an international partner, we're getting ready to begin a new line of scanning. So we're going to be doing some renovations at our Hampton site. I can't spread the word yet, but I will come back and share it with you. But it's going to be a huge contract at our Hampton site that's going to create approximately 40 more jobs for people with disabilities.
That's wonderful.
Look for an announcement in the coming weeks, but we're expanding our capabilities. We're trying to be more creative so we can provide these ongoing jobs for people.
That's good. And I do want to remind people, this keeps coming back in terms of scanning documents. That's one of the key things that the emergency preparedness folks say you need to do, because if a tornado or a hurricane comes through and you don't have that electronic copy of your will and your insurance papers and maybe what's in your home or your home title or any of those other things, you've got to have it, as well as photos of your belongings. So a lot of people don't have the capability to do that scanning themselves. Now they can contact you.
Exactly. And even with the rain recently, we've had some flooding at our facility, and luckily we've scanned our own internal documents. And so you can never be too prepared. And so take the time, see what you have around your house, see if you need scanning services, if you have some computers that you're ready to recycle, and call the ARC. We're here to help.
Now, you sound like this is a very modern facility, but you guys have been around for a very long time. I mean, I've heard of the ARC as long as I've been here. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the history and the programs you have done, and maybe a little bit about some of your other programs?
Absolutely. We've been around since 1953, so next year is our 60th anniversary. And we've grown exponentially through the years. We serve 1,100 people with disabilities, and we support their family members as well.
And 1,100 people, what's your radius? What's your coverage area?
The entire Hampton Roads region, as well as the 10 counties on the Middle Peninsula and Northern Neck. So we have a huge service area. Our programs begin at birth and last throughout each person's life. So we have an early intervention program where we serve children with disabilities and developmental delays in the cities of Newport News and Hampton. We serve around 420 children each year through that program. We also have 9 homes out in Hampton and Newport News, and you wouldn't know they were one of the ARC's homes unless you saw our vans out front. We work very hard to have them blend into the community. We also have a day support program where individuals with disabilities come to receive supports during the day, and these are the individuals that get to explore the community. We purposefully call this program Envisions because even though the individuals aren't working, we want them to continue to dream and grow and thrive. And so they do multitudes of crafts. They are the craftiest individuals you'll ever meet, very talented. They also recently had a fashion show where they modeled their favorite outfits. They volunteer out in the community. They deliver Meals on Wheels. They help with other recycling initiatives in the community. And then we have our 4 work programs. So we really do provide a variety of options so people can choose what programs best meet their needs, specifically and especially the employment programs. So we have the 4 programs so people can choose the work setting that meets their talents and interests. So we have the on-site employment, we have supported employment with our job coaches.
Supported employment means you help the businesses hire and train and check back in to make sure everything's working out.
Correct.
Okay.
We have, if a business will call us and say we have an opening, we'd like to possibly partner with the ARC. Our managers and job coaches will meet with the employer, evaluate their needs, and then we actually even help identify candidates, support the interview process, and then when an individual is hired, our job coaches work alongside that individual. They help make sure that the individual knows how to get to work, how to perform the job duties, and then they work with the employer to help make it a successful relationship.
And that's really, I think, helpful because an employer might be wanting to do something and just really unsure how to go about it, how to do the recruitment or the screening, and having you all partner in that probably makes a good difference.
We do, and we work really hard to make sure it's a good fit, it's a strong fit for the candidate. And that's why our job coaches are with the individual the first few days of the employment to make sure that they can meet the needs. And then even when the job coaches step away and let the employee continue to work, we have follow-along services, we check in with the employers because we want to create long-lasting relationships with the employers. And we want to make sure that each employment match that we make is a good fit.
Okay. Well, is there anything else I've forgotten to ask you before we wrap up?
No, I just love this opportunity to share the exciting news of what's taking place in Hampton at the Arc. And I encourage Hampton citizens to contact us, to visit our website, and look for ways to get involved. Come for a tour, bring us your old electronic equipment, and look for more news in the coming weeks about our exciting new contract, and then definitely next year, our 60th anniversary.
That is very exciting.
Yes.
Well, thank you. There's a lot here that I didn't know about the kinds of things that your organization provides and that people with developmental delays can do. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for watching this episode of Round Robin. I hope you've learned a lot as well.